Okay, so I I cracked the code. I spent a couple of hours playing around on the US Treasury's website. Want to show you some stuff. Check it out. Okay. Don't don't laugh. Feel free to laugh, actually. Okay. So, currently, right? Let's pretend like currently we have a single mom who makes $75,000 a year. Okay. She has about $2,600 a month in paycheck deductions. So federal taxes, Medicare, Social Security. We're saying that she lives in North Carolina. We have 4.5% income tax for the state, and then she pays about $950 for health care every month, right? Um, and NC, North Carolina has low property or income taxes. Other states have higher, like California's is like almost 13%, I think. Anyways, so she's single mom, so she's got childcare expenses. Those are my actual childcare expenses right now. I have a 4-year-old in preschool. Um, yeah, so we're also going to be like so generous with this $1,500 rent business because I'm not sure where you can find $1,500 rent in Charlotte, North Carolina, but hey, maybe she lives in a different part of North Carolina. I just don't know where she's going to make $75,000 a year and have $1,500 rent. But hey, we're being generous here. Anyway, so then she's got electric bill every month, natural gas, internet, cell phone, and then she ran out of money because in this scenario, $75,000, you really can't afford to live as a single mom. So, what I've done is I created a budget using, well, I'll get to that in a minute. I made a budget, and on my budget, if you make under $100,000 a year, which she does, you have no federal taxes except Social Security, and Medicare, because we have Medicare for all. But your health, so it's not no healthcare costs, it's healthcare costs go down significantly. And no childcare costs because we have universal pre-K, just like we do for K through 12. Well, I thought about student loans and student loan debt, and I found out that the government is losing about 20% of the money that they loan because of the CARES Act and how we didn't have to pay our student loans for what, 2 years or something like that, that there was a moratorium on that. That plus the income driven repayment plan has somehow made them lose money. I don't, it, to me, it would have been the forgiveness. But anyway, that's neither here nor there because student loans are a scam. And I think that they should be amortized just like we do home loans, except maybe not for 30 years. Anyway, I think they should be amortized instead of compounded interest. And then obviously we would make money just like banks make money. So whoever's in charge of that should be whatever. Okay, so now here we go. Here's my new scenario with my new budget that I created. So single mom, still making 75K. She has no federal taxes. She does have Medicare, because she gets universal health care. So she's going to pay into that. She's paying $375 for Medicare, $375 for Social Security, still paying North Carolina state taxes. But this health care cost has gone down because up here, She was paying $950 a month, and now she's paying $375 because I just matched Social Security because the spend on like Medicare for all is roughly about the same spend. It's a little bit more, but theoretically is roughly around the same price as Social Security because I have been researching all day. Okay. So now check this out. So the paycheck deductions currently $2,600 of her $6,250 that she makes. So 26, I just have to know what the percentage is of that. So that divided by that. So, oh wow, look at that. Paycheck deductions, 42% of her paychecks. Just here, take my money. That's ridiculous. Okay, so then you go down here and then now it's only $1,000. So that's $1,600 a month in your paycheck deductions that you get back. Oh my gosh. So now instead of paying 42% paycheck deductions, you are paying 16.25%. I like that. All right, so also I got to take away this childcare because now we offer that to the community. So that went away, and so she saved another, what, $1,700. So in this scenario here, what I didn't mention earlier was after she ran out of money to pay her cell phone, she had to put that, she had to borrow money from grandma to pay cell phone bill. She didn't have any money for food. She didn't have any money for clothes. Well, I mean, clothes, who cares about clothes? Let me take that out. Like, that's a luxury. Yeah, go to Goodwill. Goodwill, I went to Goodwill today, and a shirt was $4.99. So, do with that what you want. $4.99 for a shirt at Goodwill. Are you serious? I used to go to the clearance rack at the mall and get shirts for under $4.99. So, just, okay, sorry. That was a tangent. Let's back it up. So cell phone, right? So she had to borrow money from grandma to pay cell phone. She didn't have any money for food. And, she makes $75,000 a year. She doesn't qualify for SNAP benefits because she's not under the poverty line. So, she doesn't qualify for food. Car payment, hopefully she has a transportation or like a car that somebody gave her. I don't know, maybe she's saved up somehow. I really don't see how it's possible, but whatever. She doesn't have money for a car or car insurance or gas for the car. But in my scenario, she does have available money for that. So she can pay her cell phone bill. She can have a car note, she could even have a nicer car. She could have like, I don't know, something like a big old SUV or something for whatever. So she can have a car payment, car insurance. She could pay for her gas. I gave her a pretty generous budget for food, it's just her and her daughter. So $200 a week, but she's probably, maybe she eats lunch every day. I don't know, like out, like Panera. And so after all of that, now she's got $1,700 of disposable income. Guess what? She's going to spend that. She's going to spend that money in your billionaire stores. So why don't you love this? I understand that in my proposal here that you would have to pay more in taxes, but not really. And you'll see why. But like, I don't know. Why is nobody else talking about this? I'm so confused. Okay. All right. Let's go over to what I have. Okay. See, here's my budget. This is my napkin where I was like doing calculations and just jotting things down. So this is the current like tax situation. So from $0 to 11,600, your tax rate is 10%. That's insane to me, but whatever. If you make $40,000 a year, the first 11,600 is taxed at 10%, and then the additional money here is taxed, in this bracket is taxed at 12%. So I'll give you an example. So the 75,000, I wanted to see how much she would pay in taxes right now. And so what I did is I said, okay, so for the first 11,000, she's going to pay the full 10%. Then she makes over this amount, right? Over the 47,150. So from 47,150 to 11,601, the difference there is $35,549. So on that amount of money that she makes within the year, she's going to pay 12% taxes, which is 4266. Then the next bracket is from 47,151 up to 100,525. But we're not going to do the math on that entire bracket because she only makes $75,000 a year. So what we're going to do is take $75,000 a year and subtract the 47,151 to tell us how much is going to be in that bracket at 22%, which I find really high. Like, what? You went from 12% to 22%. That's wild. Anyway, so this $27,000 here, she's paying $6,000 because it's 22%. Anyways, now I understand why the millionaires are so mad, because they're getting, you know, like anything over 609, and I know that there's the tax code and it's your adjusted income. I get it. I understand. But I'm just saying, like, this is high to me, and it doesn't have to be this way. So, all right, so 2025, right now, this is about what the government brings in taxes. For individual taxes, it's about $2 trillion. Sorry, 2.6 trillion for individual income taxes. In Social Security, it's about 1.7 trillion. Corporation income taxes is only $452 billion. And I say that very casually, like I just have $250 billion sitting around. I don't. And it is a lot of money, but in the grand scheme of, this whole entire budget, I mean, you're telling me Amazon is paying less than the individuals in this country? Hell no. Okay, well, that's not 9 cents, it's 9%. Oops. Yeah, so, okay. So individuals are carrying the tax burden of what, half? Almost half? Half, 51%. And corporations are paying 9%. Now, how does that make you feel? That pisses me off. Why? Why does it piss me off? Because Citizens United is why. Like, I don't want corporations to have the same rights as me. I understand, Mark Zuckerberg, that you want that, but fuck you, man. Like, God, just go to your bunker and just enjoy your fucking life. Tangent, focus, ADHD, not medicated. Okay. So let's get back to this. So 2025, here we are. 51% of our revenue for the federal government comes from individual taxes. 9% comes from corporations. And then, you've got some other nominal stuff. Like, I'm over here looking at these estate and gift taxes, and I'm like, do we really need that? Because capital gains taxes is trash. But that's okay. Another tangent. Focus. All right. The gross individual income in the United States is $25 trillion. The gross corporation income in the United States is $45 trillion. Now are you mad? Now are you mad? Because the individual income is 25 trillion and we pay about 10% of our gross individual income to the government. Meanwhile, the corporations, oh, would you look at that? Not even a whole percent. Meanwhile, average Americans are paying 10%. Corporations are paying 1%. Ooh, of their gross. So I am calling this the adjusted gross individual income because under the Nicole Stein's plan, anybody making under $100,000 a year does not have to pay federal taxes. And so that means that we lost about $7 trillion in revenue. But that's okay because you know we're about to make it up, right? Yes, you know. Adjusted corporate income, 43 billion. How did I get that number? I subtracted any business making under $1 million. Yeah, just mind your business. I was busy doing this all day. All right, so, okay. Corporations got to pay. They got to pay. So like if you go on the website, the Department of Treasury website, it will say that corporations are supposed to pay 21% tax rate. The individual income taxes, it comes down just a little bit. And it makes a significant impact because I need to look and see, but like anybody making under $100,000, there's not, I mean, that's $100,000, that's hard to get to, man. Like one estimate is about 13% of US workers earn more than $100,000 per year, which means 87% of workers earn under $100,000 per year. Yes, tell me about full-time only. So 87% of all. Okay. Let's see. About half. More than half. Okay. So half of Americans who don't make over 100,000 a year, so blue collar folks not paying taxes. Debt, our national debt. Did you know that we have $38 trillion in debt? The United States government does. So yes, of course, I built in to my budget principal pay down. Like, what are you doing? Why? A fifth of our budget right now goes to interest. A fifth. We pay $1 trillion a year in interest. No, absolutely not. Okay, so here's your my debt schedule. Yeah. So according to my calculations, if we started next month, because this is obviously going to be approved, if we started next month, we would have the $38 trillion paid off by the end of, or the beginning of 2039. So that's like 14 years from now. In my budget. So the columns are the different months of the year. And then over here, we've got our income. And then underneath, we've got our expenses. Now, this is obviously like the most basic, right? It's like the most macro budget you could ever even look at. Meaning, obviously, the actual budget, like the chart of accounts is pages, it's like 50 pages long. So I have no interest in doing that. I just like to look at the big picture and see if it would even be possible to do the things that the Democrats ask for all the time. Bernie Sanders. this is this is Bernie Sanders' world in budget form. Okay, so I'm a socialist. That's okay because Jesus was a socialist. The highest percentage of income comes from corporate income taxes, as it should be. All right, total income. Right now, our total income is half of this. It's like 5. That's what I should have done, a variance. I don't want to hear it. Just stop. Okay, expenses, Social Security. This one I really like because like the Social Security pays for itself. So like we pay into that and then it covers. I know the baby boomers, blah, blah, blah. I understand. But like currently we are good. Medicare for all. So this is what I was telling you about. I'm going to include that. Again, we're paying into it. Now are we getting, I think that we will probably subsidize it a little bit. It looks like about $250 billion worth. But hey, currently we pay a lot more than 200 and what did I say? 250 billion. Yeah, we pay way more than that right now for just for Medicare. Let's see, Health and Human Services. These are just the actual numbers of what we have right now, except for this one. I did bring this down by $100 billion. I brought it down by $100 billion. And it's still the third highest thing. 1, 2, 3, fourth highest thing in the budget. And it's still more than every other country in the world combined, or whatever it is. I know there is a statistic out there. And if I was really cool, I would just put it right here and correct myself before the trolls can correct. Okay. So yeah, this is my budget. Total operating expenses, $7 trillion. Net income would be 3.8 trillion. Now, that's not a true profit for the United States because a bunch of dummies borrowed a whole bunch of monies and now we need to pay it back. So the interest is here. That's about how much interest we pay a year right now. $1 trillion a year. Just burning it. So principal reduction. I obviously am trying to pay it down as quickly as possible. 14 years, not bad. That's how much we would be paying per year on our debt service. So 2.4 trillion principal reduction, another trillion in interest. Total expenses here. We have a little bit of a savings every year because everybody, goes up, goes down. I don't know. Put some fucking bonuses in or something so that if we meet our budget, everybody like gets a, what do you call it? A stimulus bonus or something. How many people live in America? I don't even want to guess. How many people live in America? I know that's like a loaded question. You can't just give me an answer because it's like, oh, I don't know. Are you going to include this person or this person? All right. So 342 million. Oopsies. 342 million. Or should it be taxpayers? How many taxpayers are? How many of those are taxpayers? 153 million. I guess that makes sense. Up to 170 million. We'll say it's 170 million. Okay, 170 million. So here's our equals 170 million. That divided by 170 million. Thousand. 100. Everybody can get a stimulus check. Vote Nicole Steins for budget person of the United States, Secretary of the Budget.